Squared Circle Boxing, joined here today by David Avanesyan and Carl Greaves. How you going, lads?
Hey Danny, alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, I'm good. So, you're getting ready for this big fight then that's coming up. You're fighting Josh Kelly, pretty boy. You can change that.
What did it change?
You change it from pretty boy to
I don't know what they say, pretty boy.
you think he's pretty, my friend.
No, I understand.
So, take us back to the first one to start with. You were supposed to fight him middle of last year. What was the score there then?
Obviously it was December 2018. Yeah, December 2018. Fight was all agreed, everything was sorted out. We had the weigh-in. Everything was good. We thought the fight was on. There was arguing that the fight was 10 rounds when we agreed it was 12 rounds. So that was the first stumbling block. Adam Booth and Neil Marsh was at it, agreeing on the rounds. We finally agreed to accept 10 rounds. Anyway, so that was that. All the fight was on. We did the rules meeting the day of the fight, which shouldn't have happened really. So it should be the day before the fight, after the weigh-in. So we finally did the rules meeting, and it's something that didn't seem right at the rules meeting we had him. He come in on his own. He wouldn't open his number 2 gloves, where you always check your gloves out at the rules meeting and that. And then I went back to the room. An hour later, I got a phone call off Neil Marsh saying come downstairs. So I come down to the hotel lobby, and he just told me that Josh Kelly had gone. He'd pulled out, claiming he was sick. So obviously I think it was 6 weeks David was over when we training hard for nothing, no fight. We never got nowhere near the money we should have got for the fight. We just got the expenses and a bit of money for David, which wasn't good. But then since then, he's got on record to say on one of his latest interviews that the man downstairs was looking down and maybe telling him it wasn't the right time. So was he ill? We'll never know. But for him saying that he didn't think it was the wrong time for him, he didn't think he'd be ready, then it tells you really now that he wasn't up for the fight. I just don't think he fancied it.
So saying that, he's not that much experience now than what he was onto the original fight. I think he's only 10 wins, 1 draw. So do you think it's too early for him to be taking on a man of David's stature?
Well, he's had 3 fights since David, and one of the most, probably the standout fight on that was a guy called Ray Robinson from Philadelphia, which he got the draw from. Now, Ray Robinson actually got a draw with Kavalauskas, who beat David, but he never beat the David that we all know. He wasn't there. He wasn't the David we know. He was having a few personal problems and wasn't himself. So he's going off that, thinking that he's got a draw with a man that's beat David. But we know that boxing don't work like that. So he's coming off some mediocre fights last year, 2 points, wins and a draw. Whereas David had an unbelievable year, went over to Spain in Bilbao and knocked out Kermit Jaraga in 9 rounds. Then he had the rematch clause, knocked him out again in a round. And then at the end of last year, he had a routine European title defence and crippled Del Rio with a left hook to the body. So David's on a high now. And if he didn't fancy it when David was on a bad patch, obviously it's strange how he wants to fight now. But he's been ordered as a mandatory challenger, so he can't get out of the fight unless he withdraws his position, because we're not vacating. We want to fight him, and that's what's going to happen.
Right, so moving forward then to the fight night, are you ready for it, David? Are you all ready to go? What sort of display are you going to put on the night?
I'm ready. Every time ready for fight is open for big fight, good fighters. What is ask last night?
Yeah. How do you feel? You ready for it?
I feel very good. Yes. I wait for 28 March. Is now me and Carl together. Give everything for hard training, sparring, for work, everything for win fight. It's big fight for 28 March, London. It's good.
So you're not looking past Josh Kelly, but you're looking to, after this fight, move on to bigger things?
If you win Josh Kelly, what happens? You want world title, yeah?
Yeah, I never see after fight. Understand? I need to win this fight. If I win this fight, is after me speaking, AJ, her, Neil Marsh, Carl, me together speaking. Yes, I think every boxer wants for big fight, at world title fight. If I want again and world champion.
I mean, the WBA champions are disputing from Russia, so what a fight that would be. You know what I mean? Two Russians going at it for a world title. Obviously, David's got to deal with Matchroom now. Disputing won the title on a Matchroom show in Monte Carlo, the place where that was the first fight where me and David had together when he won the interim WBA belt. So, great story, and obviously him and Disputing what a fight that will be. But like we say, I mean, we've got Josh Kelly first. We can't look past him. He's a former Olympian. He's very talented. Is it a step too far for him? I think so, but time will tell. 28th of March, we're going to turn up and do the business.
Right, well, we wish you the best of luck. One more comment. What did you think about Neil's, what was it, the condoms and the roses to...
Yeah, I mean, Neil's one of these guys that he says what he thinks. There's not many in boxing like him. I mean, if he's got something on his mind, he'll say it, whether it's to me or to anybody. He's not bothered, he don't hold back. He speaks his mind, and that's what you got to admire for him, really. And he was very disappointed, we all was, with Kelly pulling out on the day. And since then, a lot of things has gone off. The fight should have happened in the March. You know what I mean? Never happened. The March 2019, and obviously we went in. We was waiting on the contract. It never come. So we went and took the fight in Bilbao against Kerman for the European title. Obviously, it's turned out a lot better for us, and this is a bigger fight now. But you've got to bear in mind that when he pulled out, it was bad. I mean, David's been over 6 weeks training. It was Christmas time. I mean, you know, he went back to Russia with hardly any money, and it was disappointing, really. I mean, so Neil just brought it all out on that press conference, and it went down really well. I mean, I've had no end of people say, you know what, fair play to Neil Marsh. You know, I mean, not many had the ball score on the top table and give it him like that, and you know what I mean, all tongue in cheek. Yeah, Adam Booth, yeah, and all tongue in cheek. Obviously, with the rose, it was Valentine's Day. Wasn't it? Neil had to obviously leave his wife on Valentine's Day. And then he just said to Adam, will you be my Valentine instead? And bought him a pack of condoms. It was all a good laugh, and it went down really well. But
I don't think he did with Booth.
No, I don't think he liked it, no. And I think David just sat on that top table was thinking, what's going on here? Because obviously he hasn't got the British humour. He's Russian, and it's different sense of humour and different way of life. So he was thinking, what's going on here? But listen, you got to look back in, and it was brilliant.
All right, lads. Well, we wish you the very best, David. We're cheering for you, and hopefully we'll talk to you afterwards when the job's done.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Top man. Thank you very much.
See you 28th March.
Yeah.